Hello, I'm Arun Ulag, and I'm the General Manager of the Power BI engineering team. I'm here to talk to you about a new set of capabilities we're bringing to Power BI, which substantially accelerates the time to insight for our business customers. This is called the Common Data Service for Analytics and enables a new class of applications from Microsoft and our partners that deliver insights to business within minutes. Every business is now a digital business, and to be a digital business, you have to be constantly gathering data and turning the data into valuable insights that you can act on. And to do this, you have to create a digital feedback loop, especially around what matters most to you, your customers, your products, and your people. For example, you get data from the time your customers first show up on your websites to when they become a lead and eventually choose to buy your product. All of this data and intelligence needs to enable what you truly care about, whether it's maximizing marketing ROI or increasing sales productivity or driving customer satisfaction. You need to ensure that your business goals are met. You need to ensure that all of this data leads to competitive advantage and differentiation for you in the marketplace. But we know this is not easy. We know it takes too long and costs too much to build systems of intelligence. Here's why. Data is everywhere, siloed across so many different systems, both on-premise and in the cloud. The growth of SaaS applications has made this problem much worse, as each application has its own silo of data. Keeping sensitive data safe and compliant isn't easy, and we know it takes a lot of time to build data pipelines, build out data warehouses, simply to generate the insights that you need to run your business. To address these blockers, we're extending the capabilities of Power BI. As you know, Power BI today has these really rich visualization and modeling capabilities, and now we're adding the Common Data Service for Analytics. What this allows you to do is to more easily unify your data, secure and manage it, and it powers a new class of applications that deliver insights in minutes. I'm going to talk to you about three things. First, let's start by understanding how CDS for Analytics helps you quickly unify and enrich your data. CDS for Analytics brings a big data store to Power BI. This data store has a built-in schema called the Common Data Model, which provides a rich set of entities across all the major functions in an enterprise: marketing, sales, customer and field service, operations, finance, and talent. We leverage the 70-plus connectors that Power BI already has to line of business systems like Dynamics 365 or Salesforce to bring data into the common schema. For example, if you're dealing with a CRM system, tables such as contact, lead, opportunity, and account are automatically populated. You can also bring in data that's custom to your organization to this big data store. Next, we build unified profiles of all the data in the big data store across the three primary entities: customers, products, and people, the entities that matter most to your business. These unified profiles automatically include the data that's in the Common Data Model, but can also include custom data in your organization. Second, I'm going to talk to you about how we help you secure and govern your data. In a world in which data breaches occur daily and the regulatory requirements for protecting data are increasing, we know it's important to you to choose a cloud provider that makes every effort to protect and secure your data. We have invested extensively in a broad set of industry certifications that Power BI is fully compliant with today. We also know that it's important for you to ensure that you are always in control of your data, which users have access to it, which applications have access to it. You want to make sure that all the access to your data is fully logged and is fully auditable. And third, you want to make sure that the data in the cloud is always encrypted. I'm going to talk to you about how we are accelerating time to insights for our customers through a new class of applications that work against the data in the Common Data Model. Microsoft is working on a set of applications that deliver insights to business in minutes. For example, Power BI for Sales Insights delivers intelligence for sales teams so they can stay on top of their pipeline, understand performance by product and geography, and help salespeople prioritize which leads to focus on through predictive lead scoring. We're also working with industry partners who are extending the Common Data Model for specific verticals. We're excited to announce a partnership with Kuna Mutual, who's building the Advantage Analytics solution on our platform. This solution delivers compelling analytics that help CXOs of credit unions get deep insights into their business, leveraging Kuna's expertise in financial services. I'm now going to invite my colleague Patrick Baumgartner to demonstrate a couple of these applications. All right, Patrick, I'm really curious to see some of these applications.
Great, thanks, Arun. Well, we're really excited about the Power BI Common Data Service for Analytics. And as Arun has been talking, it makes it incredibly easy to pull data from a lot of different sources, unify it together, secure it, and really customize it for your own custom insights. But most importantly, it's really fast to get started. And that's because we're bringing forward these rich insight applications, both from Microsoft and third parties. And using those applications is a really fast on-ramp, so you can get insights incredibly quickly. And I wanted to show you guys 2 of these applications and how easy they are to use. So the first one here is the Power BI for Sales Insights application that's going to be coming to market very, very soon. And what this application does is it pulls data from your sales system and it pulls it together into the common data model like Arun has been talking about. So you can get insights really, really quickly. So let's go ahead and take a look.
So this works with Dynamics 365 for sales as well as Salesforce?
Exactly. And I've already installed this app. It's a really fast setup, really easy to do. And it immediately starts ingesting that data from Dynamics or from Salesforce and pulling it into this common data model. And once it's there, we have a lot of rich intelligence built into that common data model that gives you some really unique insights, as well as this great 360-degree, really visual view in this dashboard here.
So this dashboard is something that will be available out of the box as soon as you install that application.
Exactly. And so let's take a look at some of the features here. So I can see a 360-degree view from sales performance to my sales pipeline to team productivity to pipeline risk. But I really want to drill in and show you some of the cool features that we've unlocked with this application. So, as you would expect, this is in Power BI, so it's highly visual, really easy to interact with, so I can come filter the data, slice and dice it, and really understand it. But also because it's in this common data model and we're really lighting up some of the best features of Power BI, I've got natural languages built in. And so if I want to get my own questions answered, I can just click this button here and go ahead and ask natural language questions about my data. So here I can see, some suggested questions out of the box, like who were my top 5 salespeople this month? And it's really cool stuff. So I can even come in here and edit this, maybe if I want to say last year, fully easy to, that I can edit just by typing. But I can really play with this natural language here really easily. So something like, what were the biggest deals last month? Maybe I want to change this one. So Arun, how about we ask, who won the biggest deals last month, right? But, I might want to ask that question. I can just change this and say who lost the biggest deals. And it looks like Renee Lowe has got a lot of activity there.
Oh, well, we've got to pay attention.
But, I want to come back and ask some more questions here. What's really cool is if I ask something like, show me the sales pipeline, and in this application we have lots of rich report assets, and the natural language is smart enough to pick that up as well. So I can ask, show me the sales pipeline for, we were just talking about Renee Lowe there was the biggest person, so I can just say, the sales pipeline for Renee Lowe, maybe next month. Super easy stuff here, right? Especially if you can spell month correctly. And just go ahead and ask these questions, again, automatically filtering. So a lot of really rich intelligence just built in. So pretty cool stuff, right? But let's keep going. So it's not just the ability to ask these natural language questions, but I get all of the rich features of Power BI just built in as well. This is one of my favorite features. I'm going to come to this sales summary here and switch this other tab. And I've got this, this is my revenue going forward here, Arun. So what do you think's going on with these spikes here? I got a couple spikes in my revenue that's kind of estimated to happen in the future. You have any idea what's going on?
Is it the end of quarter or something like that? End of the month maybe?
Well, that's the cool thing about Power BI is I actually can have a built-in AI that just helps me ask questions about these points. So I can right-click, analyze, and say, explain the increase.
Wow. And
honestly, I don't know. Let's have the AI of the system help tell us what's going on here. And so this is running a wide set of algorithms to help kind of break down what's going on and give me an answer. And it tells me again, hey, actually Renee Lowe, the same kind of must be the sales superstar in our team here. She's got a big increase. There's some assigned for a team, some assigned to Richard. And I can scroll down, and this has automatically broken out some interesting factors about the data to help guide me through it. So again, some pretty cool stuff.
So I didn't have to do anything. I just asked Power BI to explain this to me, and it figured all this out.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is really key to us because it's not just bringing all the data together and enriching it, but how do you help more people get access to it and more people finding insights? And we think this is really, the way it's got to be. It's got to be AI assistance, natural language, really make it easy to find insights. But it's more than that. In addition to having these kind of rich capabilities built in, to pull your data together, it's really important to be able to enrich the data as well. And I know that's something that you talked about earlier in the presentation. And so for that, I want to actually flip over and look at some additional data we're actually able to pull in with this application. And that's related to your people in your sales team and who they have been meeting with, right? And so what we're looking at here is my pipeline risk. And what we've done is we've looked at all your different sales team members, who they've been meeting with, and then we've started to develop a relationship score automatically in the app. So I can see I've got an account out here, which is a bank publishing, where I've got a lot of estimated revenue, but the relationship score is actually really low because our people haven't been doing enough meetings. or the AI, for whatever reason, has looked at the signal and the pattern and said, you know what, the relationship isn't as strong as some of your other accounts.
So it's basically learning from the pattern of communications between my sales organization and my customers, and being able to use that signal to be able to predict when deals are likely to close or when they're potentially at risk.
Yeah, exactly. And it's doing all of that enrichment right on top of your data, just out of the box in this application. Some really cool insights. And again, in Power BI, I can do a really rich visualization to understand what's going on here. And I can see, I've got my actual revenue, my revenue potential, and then the amount of time spent, because that's kind of the heart of this relationship score. And if I click on bank publishing here, I can see, we have pretty good actual revenue from the past. We've got a lot of revenue potential, but for whatever reason, we're not spending a lot of time with that account. And that's something that we probably want to go ahead and take action on.
And this is really interesting because as a customer, I'm able to use my CRM data to give me kinds of insights that I never had before.
Yeah, and to pull in just that enrichment and really, give you something you can go take action on. Now, everything I've shown you thus far is probably, for a sales management role who wants that, kind of 360-degree view where I'm looking across the whole organization. But what's great about these capabilities is we can also embed them back into the experiences you use every day. And for that, I actually want to switch over to my Dynamics 365 application. So here I'm looking at a specific sales lead. In fact, the people who have some of the opportunities from that bank publishing account. And you can see I got that same relationship health score showing up for my opportunities, but now it's at the individual opportunity level, whereas opposed I was looking at that high-level aggregate view. But let's see how I can kind of use this information, to really be more effective as a sales member. So I'm going to go ahead and show my chart here. And what I actually want to show is not just my top customers, but I want to show my relationship pipeline. And again, this is giving you the visualization of that relationship health that we were just looking at in Power BI, but now I have it embedded right here in Dynamics 365. And I can see, again, I've got one of these bank publishing deals down here, and I can see that I've got a little bit of time or it's actually closing really soon, and the relationship health is low. And I want to go ahead and actually drill into that opportunity to see what's going on. And again, built into everything I'm doing here in Dynamics with this sales insight capability, it's giving me a really great actionable set of insights where I can go and actually improve the relationship I have, because it's saying here I've got a poor relationship, but it's steady. And if I dig into this relationship analytics, what do you think the most obvious reason for this relationship being poor? I mean, what makes sense?
They're not meeting with the customer?
Exactly. I'm probably not meeting often enough with them. And so if I scroll down here, I can see my relationship activities, and you can see it's pretty sparse, set of interactions. There was an email sent, some emails received, but I'm not actually, really sticking with it with this account. And again, because I see that at the high level view, I can help my organization take action, but I can see it all the way down to the person, an individual view, and start seeing really cool statistics about how these accounts are developing, and we think would be really, really impactful for how you run your sales organization.
So this is exciting because as a sales manager, I can go into Power BI and get an end-to-end view of my sales organization. But as an individual sales representative, I'm getting these insights right within Dynamics 365 for sales.
Exactly. And not only can we be with you inside of Power BI, Dynamics 365, but even with these applications, we have automatically piped this data into Cortana, so Cortana's aware of it. So I can come here and I can say, what's my opportunity pipeline? And I can get that same set of rich content right inside of Cortana. So here I could ask for my opportunity pipeline, get tailored content just in Cortana, and again, full natural language, so I could say, for Renee Lowe, and get that same rich content now, everywhere I go with Cortana. And so, it's just a really, broad set of capability. We're really excited about it, especially because it's so easy to get started with these applications.
That's awesome. So I get the full richness of Power BI right within my Cortana experience.
Exactly.
That's all.
And so this is one application, but like I said, I wanted to show you a couple of these. Now, as you talked about, both the Microsoft applications, but also third-party applications. And one of our great partners we're working with is Kuna Mutual, and they serve credit unions and help them with analytics on their data and understand what each credit union's customers are doing. And they're working with Power BI and the Common Data Service for Analytics to actually bring forward an app for their clients, which helps them get the same kind of insights, but on their data. And so I wanted to show you this app as well. Do you want to take a look?
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what Kuna is doing because they have a lot of vertical expertise. They really know banking very well. They know credit unions very well, and they have a level of expertise that credit unions really value.
Yeah, and it's really exciting because they can take that expertise and then deliver the same kind of insights to their customers. And again, get it now. I just go through a really simple installation process and it starts pulling that data into CDSA so we can layer the intelligence on. And I want to do a really quick view of this. Because what I really wanted to show you here is I've got the same rich dashboard capability. I can drill into the same set of dashboards and reports. And again, the great thing about being in Power BI is I have the same, if I go ahead and analyze, explain the increase, the same kind of rich AI, natural language, all built in, but now Kuna can bring that forward to their customers as well. And again, this is showing it in Power BI. But because Power BI is super easy to embed, I can even embed this back into my Dynamics experiences as well. And here I see the ability to interact with the same Power BI content and even use it to create marketing lists and really take action and drive action really quickly. So, Arun, what I've showed you here, I think, I'm obviously excited about it, but some really cool functionality. We think it's really amazing that we can take this, put it in an application, take it to your users, and take it to you very, very quickly so you can install these apps, get really rich out-of-the-box AI, and start aggregating your data together. And so thank you for your time, and we'll be back to see another demo where we see how to customize this for your specific business needs as well.
So you saw how Microsoft and our partners can deliver compelling insights through these applications. However, we know that each one of our customer organizations is unique. You have data that's important to you. You have business processes that are the source of your competitive advantage. So it's really important that you can integrate your own data and generate these insights that matter for your company. Well, we'll show you how it's possible with both Power BI and Azure. In the next slide, you will see how business analysts can easily use Power BI desktop to customize their reports and generate new insights. They can also use the Power BI service to bring in additional data into the common data service for analytics, and they can create completely new measures and calculations that help them understand their business better. So with this, I'm going to invite Patrick to go show us a quick demo.
Thanks, Arun. So what Arun's talking about is the ability to customize these applications. Because even though I showed you a lot of really great out-of-the-box rich intelligence, we know that you're going to need to tailor it with your own data and tailor the insights to your own specific business needs. Unfortunately, with Power BI and the Common Data Service for Analytics, we make it incredibly easy to customize these applications. So here we're looking at that same sales application I was showing you before. What I want to show you is how you can tailor the reports, but also bring in your own custom data and really get it working for your specific business. So let's take a look at that. So the first thing I want to do is open up Power BI Desktop. So Power BI Desktop, if you're not familiar, is a very rich desktop authoring tool, widely in use. That lets you visualize your data, mash data together, create custom calculations, and let's go ahead and dig in. All right, so Arun, the first thing I want to do is just make some cosmetic changes, because I know, this is a line chart, but you just love area line charts that are filled in, right? Makes all the difference, right? But seriously though, you want to be able to tailor stuff to just get that perfect look and feel. And again, that simple customization is that simple, right? But let's go a little bit deeper here, right? So next thing I want to do is let's make a little bit of space. Let's move this over. Let's show you how easy it is to add your own charting and report elements back into these applications. So really cool. Again, I can use natural language. So let's go ahead and look at the win ratio versus number of opportunities and the average deal size, maybe by sales person, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and drag this out here, and I've got now this great report here that's showing, as the win ratio goes up, I've got a number of opportunities. It turns out there's this one little guy down here, John Klebb. He had one opportunity. It's not really interesting. Fortunately, I can just go exclude him and take him out, so now I get a little pretty report. But again, it's just that easy. Some natural language, and just added a chart here. But let's go a little bit further here.
So I can use natural language to help me build out the reports and the capabilities that I want to see represented.
Exactly, and I can use drag and drop as well here, because maybe I want to look at this, but I also want to look maybe at the rating of the opportunities. So I have my opportunity rating. Let's grab this to the legend. So now it's breaking out so I can see, what of my opportunities are hot, cold, and warm. And then, the feature that everybody just loves is, I'm going to grab the date here. Maybe I'm going to grab the month, and I'm going to put it on the play axis, actually. Let me make sure I scroll down here. So again, in natural language, drag and drop, both just that easy. So I'm going to drop that on the play axis here. And now everybody loves animation, right? So I can look at, as things are changing over time, I can see how these different leads are evolving. And what's really cool here, if I'm going to pause this, and come all the way to the end. And I can actually click on now one of these little bubbles here, and I can actually see kind of the history for, this is Renee Lowe, kind of the person we keep talking about in this demo here. And I can see, how her leads have bumped around month by month and really get, that rich visual that might be tailored to my specific business need, right? And it's just that easy. You drag and drop. And lots of this customization is this easy. So I'm going to look at my account table here, and you can see we've added tons of, actually I want to look at my opportunity table. And there's a bunch of rich calculations that have been added to this as well. And it's super easy to edit these, right? And I can add my own calculations. This is looking at a cumulative score for the actual revenue. This is like an Excel-like formula that we have built into Power BI. Makes it really easy to go customize my own custom business logic. Now, Arun, this is just the start, right? This is very cosmetic, very, very simple. I'm using the data that's there. But let's see how we add more data in, right? Right? So I want to bring in my own custom business data.
Because we know our customers have lots of data that they want to get included in those insights that matter to them.
Exactly. Sometimes we talk about the power of the join. And so if I look at Power BI, it's really easy to go hit Get Data here. And I can see all the rich data sources that Power BI can connect to today. But that would just be pulling the data into the report layer. But what I really want to do is pull that data into CDSA and start joining it and enriching it there. So let's take a look at how we can do that. So I'm going to switch back to the service here. And now I'm up in the Power BI service. I'm in the workspace that was created when I installed that Sales Insight application. And you're going to see something in Power BI that's a little bit new. We call it a data pool. Right? So this is a data pool that's been added to my workspace. And you can see this Power BI for Sales Insight data pool has already been created. And this is all the different entities that were needed for that application that are automatically being imported and synced, and that data is flowing into this common data model.
So in this case, it's coming from Dynamics 365 for Sales or Salesforce. It's bringing that into the common data model.
Exactly, and you can see the entity types are automatically picked up, and that's why you're getting some of that rich intelligence to do that natural language, because all of that data is being mapped into these common data model entities. So, these are the entities that were bought in as part of this application, but I want to show you how easy it is to add your own custom entities as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Entities. And I actually have some data that's related to my sales promotion effectiveness, right? This is data we've been running promotions. We can see how effective these promotions are going to be. And I want to take that custom data and join it to the data that's already been brought in by this application. So it turns out this data happens to be in a CSV file that I have access to. It could be in a database, lots of rich data sources. Power BI is known for having a really a wealth of data connectivity. That's certainly something that's supported here in Common Data Service for Analytics.
So that's great. Now it looks like I'm in a Power Query experience, the same experience that millions of customers know how to use with Power BI Desktop or Excel.
Exactly. And so Power Query is this, if you're not familiar with it, is a fantastic mashup tool that's available in Power BI Desktop and Excel, and lets you join data together, connect to a wide variety of sources. And that's the same experience we've now brought into the web in Power BI. And I can use that instead of landing data just into a file. I can land that data into the data storage in the Common Data Service for Analytics. And so here I've got my sales effectiveness data. And let's go ahead and just shape it really quick to bring it into the service. So here I'm going to call this the sales promotion effectiveness table. So I gave it a name. You can see that it didn't quite get the column headers right, so I'm going to do a couple of quick transformations. I'm going to say use the first row as headers. And then I actually want to add one additional column here. And I can use this as one of my favorite features in Power Query, is this ability to add a column by example. And so I want to add this other column here that's about a promotion type, because I want to be able to use that in my app. And so I'm going to call this promotion type. And you can see this other column I have here where it says online, -retail, -special, just kind of almost like some garbage text that was put in here, but I want to extract it out. And I could write, a formula that did it, but the cool thing is in Power Query is I can actually just type what I want the column to look like. Say online, get my cursor in here, say online, and just hit enter. And it used, kind of like flash fill, used some AI to go reach through and build automatically that formula to extract that data out. So again, really easy to use.
So it learned by example and figured out how to actually populate
this column. So I can just say, hey, how do I want this column to look? And it goes ahead and does that.
That's great.
Now, again, in CDSA, I can pull this table in. One of the other really cool things I could do is I could go ahead and combine tables, so I could merge it across sources. But in this case, I just want to pull this table in and pull that in so I can start using it. So I'm going to click Next in this process. And now I'm going to say how I want this data to land. Right? Now, The great thing about Power BI Common Data Service for Analytics is it's built with the common data model, the CDM that you've heard talked about before. And what that provides you is this rich library of entity types, right, that all have built-in intelligence, so they have special behaviors inside of Power BI. And you can see that I already mapped, leads, opportunities, owners. They all came into the system already set up in these special entities, right? Now, it turns out sales promotion effectiveness is custom. And what I really want to show you is not only can you use those out-of-the-box entities, you can define your own custom entities as well. So I'm going to load this as a custom entity, which really just means, hey, bring in what I have. And I'm going to click Create. And now that I've done that, I've added that in, and it's going to start getting scheduled, so that data automatically pulls in. I can set a refresh schedule, so hourly, daily, however often I want. It's going to pull that in, run it through that data manipulation, and land it in the Common Data Service for Analytics. And really give me a really powerful staging area for my applications, so I can go customize it even further.
This is fantastic because I didn't have to build out a separate data pipeline. I didn't have to stand up a data warehouse with a special team working on it. It just worked with Power BI, taking care of all of these things for me.
Exactly, and the same skill sets that your analysts have, the same Power Query skill set, that's all I needed to do this, right? I didn't have to be a data expert. I'm certainly not a data expert, something even I could do. And now I want to come back in and show you one, kind of complete the circle here, how I can use this data in Power BI desktop, right? So now that I've imported that data into the Common Data Service for Analytics, we can switch back here into Power BI desktop and start making use of that data really, really easily. And so I'm going to go back up to my Get Data experience, and I'm just going to type Power BI, and I can see right here, in addition to being able to pull data from the Power BI service, the reports connecting to the reports I've already published, I can now pull data from these Power BI data pools. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to the Power BI data pools, and this is going to give me access to all of the data that I've pulled into the Common Data Service for Analytics, and really make it seamless to pull it into these desktop files to build reports. And if you think about this now, this is a great way to co-locate all your data, so you can start pulling it into the Common Data Service for Analytics. So I don't have to connect to a kind of a mishmash of all these different sources. I can now use Power BI as kind of the one place to start pulling a lot of data together, which I think is really convenient for a lot of people. And so you can see here, I've got some kind of other data I've already brought in for some seasonal data. But again, here's that sales insight data. Now, a lot of this I've already brought in for my application. But there's another table here, this one we just created, the sales promotion effectiveness. So I'm going to go ahead and click that table. And now this is going to go ahead and connect up to, and actually I don't even need to wait for the preview, I can just hit load. And that's going to connect back to the Common Data Service Analytics and start importing that data down so I can use it in my report. And it's just that easy, right?
So I was able to start with the out-of-the-box entities that are connected to Salesforce or Dynamics 365, and I was able to augment the data with some data that was unique to my organization. And not only bring that into CDS for analytics, but also start working with that in Power BI Desktop.
Exactly, and it's already loaded here, and so I can see my new sales promotion effectiveness table. And now that's data, and it's joined in, so I can just start using it and slicing and dicing. And let's see how we do that really quick. So maybe I want to look at my sales detail page. It turns out this report, it's got this lost reason. Apparently all of my deals have been lost because they were canceled, which kind of makes sense. And so, that's not particularly useful, so maybe let's delete that. And let's add this sales promotion effectiveness data in, maybe to enrich this report a little bit. So let's look at the promotion type. Remember, we just created that up in the service, and maybe let's split this out by maybe the discount, and let's change that to the average discount, right? And so we can see the average discount. Actually, let's leave that as the sum. It's more interesting. Let's switch it to this bar here. And I've got just that easy. One other little feature I love here is I can, just like I can do in other Office tools I love, I can hit Format Painter, format that really quick. So now it's just formatted. I got my discount type, or my total discount by promo type. Added my own custom data. And again, it's just a couple clicks, something an analyst could do. Some really high-powered customization. So, what I showed you here was, starting from one of these out-of-the-box applications, I can come in and start just doing some cosmetic updates, add my own calculations, relay out these reports, really customize it for my business. But that's not all. Just with the same analyst skills, I can go connect my own custom organizational data, bring that into CDSA, and then start using the same Power BI tools to go edit it here. So we're really excited by this capability because it really unlocks a lot of complex tasks just for your analysts and everybody who's familiar with Power BI. So, thanks.
That's great, Patrick, because this kind of manipulation was typically only possible with data developers working with data warehouses. And now we've made it possible for a typical business analyst who knows Excel really well or Power BI very well to be able to deliver on the same capabilities.
Yeah, and that's just a preview, because the next demo we're going to come and show is how you can even use developer skills to go even deeper. So I'll turn back to you to talk about that.
That's great. Since the Common Data Service for Analytics and Power BI are built on Azure, your data scientists and data developers can use the full power of the Azure Data Platform with the data in CDS for Analytics. This includes doing rich data manipulation with Spark or deploying custom AI algorithms with Azure Machine Learning. Patrick will now show you a quick example.
Great. Thanks, Arun. So what Arun's talking about is really, really important. So thus far in this session, we've seen a couple demos. We saw a demo where I got out-of-the-box insights using these applications in Power BI. You saw me do some customization that a data analyst could do, where I did cosmetic changes to a report. I mashed in some custom data that I wanted to bring into the application. But at the end of the day, you're going to need no-cliffs extensibility. You're going to need the ability to bring in your own professional data scientists. They're going to develop custom algorithms to really unlock those deep insights inside of your data. And for this, we've made sure that everything in the Power BI Common Data Service for Analytics is fully compatible with the full power of the Azure Data Platform. So I want to give you a quick demo just to give you a taste of this capability. So here I'm in Azure Databricks. Now Azure Databricks is a wonderful environment to create workspaces where you can develop your own custom AI and unleash that compute power in the Azure Data Platform. And so let's take a look at how we're using that in conjunction with the Power BI Common Data Service for Analytics. So I'm going to go over to my workspace here and click on Users. You see I'm logged in, and I've got this workspace connected to the Common Data Service for Analytics. So it's connected to the same data store that we've been pulling all this data together in these earlier demos. So inside of this workspace, I've got my own custom AI, and this AI actually is going to predict how much revenue we're going to make in the future based off of the revenue we've seen in the past. And so that's really cool. Obviously, you want to predict how much money you're going to make. That's a pretty good thing to know. And you can see I've laid out all of these algorithms. This is a super easy environment. I can just go execute these scripts. But the most important thing is it's manipulating that data, the same data that I brought in using the Common Data Service for Analytics. So if you think about how this works end to end, I have an out-of-the-box application that's going to immediately start ingesting data. In this case, I'm pulling it in from Salesforce or Dynamics, just automatically into this Power BI Common Data Service for Analytics. It's enriched because it's in this common data model. And then I can do lightweight customization as a business analyst. But now against that same set of data, I can use the full power of Azure to run my own custom data manipulation. And this is super powerful to bring this all together into one place, and we're really, really excited by it. And so thank you very much, and thank you, Arun.
Thanks, Patrick. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. We saw three things. First, you saw how the Common Data Service for Analytics helps you quickly unify and enrich your data. Second, we talked about how we can help you secure and govern your data. And third, you saw how we can help you get insights in minutes through a new class of applications from Microsoft and our partners, all built on top of the Common Data Model. And you saw how easy it was to customize these applications with Power BI or using the full power of the Azure Data Platform. It's very easy to learn more. All you need to do is go to powerbi.com. Thank you.